Greg Mather has been involved with pickleball here in the Valley for over a decade. Instrumental in both the Arizona Pickleball Players League and American Team Pickleball League, he joins me on the court to talk about his personal pickle journey and some big upcoming events. This is the Pickle with Mickle interview series 0-0 start. Welcome to the show, Pickle with Mickle interview series, and I am here today with Greg. Am I going to say it right? Is it Mather or Mather?
Mather.
Mather. Got it right the first time, and I like that. It's like my serve, Greg. Get it right in there the first time. That way they got trouble, and I'm already ahead of the point. Needless to say, we are here to talk about some serious pickleball, some serious pickle action that's upcoming. Greg, easy for me to say you've been involved with pickleball here in the Valley for just a little while, and with the Arizona Pickleball Players League as well as American Team Pickleball League. We're going to talk about both today. We're going to talk about a lot of pickleball and also just kind of your journey with pickleball, what got us here today. And first, let me ask you, how you doing, and how much pickleball have you played already today?
I'm doing fine. No pickleball today. There's pickleball tomorrow at 8 o'clock in the morning, checking out a new venue, and should be a lot of fun. A lot of people there too.
Awesome. I think we were just discussing that. You're gonna finally get over to the new tumbleweed courts, right?
Yep, Tumbleweed has, I think it's 18 new courts. They look real good. They got a little wet the last couple of days, but
You think?
yeah, but they're laid out real nice, and so I'm anxious to see what they're like. Maybe they can improve my game. I don't know, but we'll give it a shot.
I bet your game's on point. Well, let's jump in. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about Greg personally a little bit before we get to these great leagues that you're a part of and have been a part of for so long right here in the Valley, folks. Again, there is a lot of pickleball that you can get out there and find and become a part of. We're here to talk about that with Greg today. But since you opened up that can of worms, how's the game these days? Where are we still working on? What's your best shot? What's your go-to shot when you're in a pinch?
The game these days is better than it was maybe a few months ago because I try to rotate injuries on and off and what have you. But my best shot, which I'm probably known for, is a snap backhand shot. If I'm playing on the right side, that's probably the best spot because a lot of middle shots come down and I can cover them pretty effectively or as hard sometimes as the guy on my left might be with his forehand. So that's my best shot.
Love it. One of my best shots is that same thing, that quick backhand flick. I love to set up almost for my full-on tennis backhand sometimes and just rip that thing because you know, if you get the right ball, you can do it. And talk about the evolution and change of the game where we see these kind of shots so often, more of a hybrid almost tennis shot from even intermediate to higher up level players where we're taking this ball out of the air just a foot or two off the baseline and really driving that thing down. From your experience when you started playing pickleball, and now, Greg, I'm gonna call you out a little. When did you start playing pickleball?
I started in 2008.
2008.
And so I ought to be a lot better. 2008, yes. But yeah, because I played a lot of tennis. I was playing all tennis, from 2000 to beyond, like 12, 16, I guess. But and that's where I got this notion about what we're going to talk about the league. But I started playing pickleball when a friend of mine called me up and said, "Hey, you got to come over to the West Valley, Phoenix," and said, "There's this new game called pickleball. I'm in a tournament." And I went over the next day and no, actually it was that afternoon, come to think of it, because he was playing and I loved it. I saw it. I said, I can play this. This is going to be good. So I played and started playing. He came back to the East Valley because we were tennis buddies. We were on team tennis leagues. And we helped start it up in the East Valley. I enjoyed it. Some people later on said, "How can you play tennis and pickleball at the same time?" It made me a much better net player at tennis because I could respond more quickly. The ball's
Because
coming
you're
back and
you're
forth.
you're you're getting more of that kind of action in pickleball. And so then for sure, if you're playing doubles tennis, or if you were still, even if you were still playing singles, and you've got a little of that volley game in your game in tennis, which you should if you're playing tennis, yeah,
Right.
I think I can
Yeah.
totally see that helping you there at the net, because you're even closer to the net in tennis, and you can react to that ball coming from a further distance a little
Yep.
better. Great stuff.
Exactly.
Now, did you grow up playing tennis as a younger lad, let's say, and were you playing competitively?
I grew up playing a little tennis. My buddy and I would get on our bikes and we'd go to the clay courts in Plainfield, New Jersey, actually.
Okay.
Excuse me. But then in high school, I figured, okay, I can hold my own on the tennis court. I'll join the tennis team. And back in those days, and I was on the wrestling team, but it it wasn't considered really much of a guy's game in tennis. And so it made more sense for me to hang out with the wrestling jocks and lift weights in the springtime rather than play tennis on a team. But I found out later on, when later, I kind of gave it up for a while and then played on and off. But later on, came out to Arizona, joined a great club, and started playing a lot more again, and liked it.
And so playing tennis out here in Arizona, join a nice club like you said, and you started playing in these leagues, in these events. We found pickleball now back circa 2008. We're starting
Hmm.
to enjoy it. We're playing in tournaments, I imagine, meeting great people out here in the pickleverse. And now talk to me about this idea to begin Arizona Pickleball Players League.
Yeah, the
The vision.
same the same player and I kind of, like I said, we introduced it locally, and we actually started a pickleball club and all that good stuff.
East
And we
Valley
got
Interleague, correct?
well, that was the league. We hadn't
That
started
was the
that yet,
league. That
or
was
I
the league.
hadn't
Okay.
started that.
Okay.
But we were playing with the same guys all the time and getting bored. So we had some friends in Fountain Hills, and we set up hey, we'll bring 6 guys up there and we'll play you guys, and we'll rotate around and whatever. So we did that, and that was a ball. And we're on our way home, and he said, "Man, that was fun. Wouldn't it be neat if we could have a team pickleball league like we both play in team-based league tennis? USTA tennis had a ton of leagues, and still do, a large league." And I said, and I'd run a couple tournaments and I was running a couple tennis leagues. I said, yeah, I think I'll start it. It took off pretty quick because there were a lot of uh, communities around, and they're starting to get into pickleball. I started a small group, and people would see it and said, "Hey, we want to play that." Developed a team-based format, and we traveled to other clubs and started playing. And then the ladies said, "We want to participate in that." So we started the women's division, and I picked up a couple volunteers to help. Then other clubs said, "We want to be involved in the East Valley," and we called it the East Valley Interclub League, Evil Pickleball for
Evil.
short.
That's right. Evil
Evil
pickleball. That's right.
Pickleball.
That's what I had
And
written down. I had to remember the interclub part of it,
yeah,
East Valley Interclub League, which is great. And now keep us in the timeline. Where are we? Are we still? Is this about 2009 or 10, or is this still 2008?
this is 2012,
12. Okay,
and
that's right.
started that, and then about 2019, and we were up to maybe 400 players and 40 teams, 35, 40 teams. Well, actually went up to 44 teams one time.
From 2012 to 2019, we had grown already.
2019, all
We
in
had
the East Valley.
okay.
And a good friend of mine, Carol Barron, who happens to be our APPL West Valley regional director, we were standing watching an Evil match going on. And I said, Carol, it's time we took this statewide. And she said, what do you think? And I said, I think we ought to start an Arizona Pickleball Players League, APPL. And she said, hey, that's kind of catchy. Let's do it. And so we again started it in the East Valley, but I got a phone call from a fella in Casa Grande, and there were a lot of pickleball communities there, Ropes and Ranch, Palm
Yes.
Creek, Dave White Park, Mission Royale, a couple others. And they said, hey, Greg, we've heard about Evil. We want to have an Evil League down here. And I said, hey, Tom, congratulations. You're the Casa Grande region for the Arizona Pickleball Players League. And he said, what's
Right.
that?
Let's not do this independent. Let's bring
Yeah,
you into the fold here and grow this thing. And
exactly.
I and now we've got Casa Grande region. We've got everything you're doing in the East Valley, and this continued to build. Talk about that.
Yeah, so the first year we started with Casa Grande and the East Valley, and then of course the West Valley folks, where pickleball really started in Phoenix, mainly in the West Valley. They said, hey, what's this? What's this going on? We want to be a part of this. And so, uh, and a lot of folks would summer up in the White Mountain region, and they come from Tucson, they come from everywhere, and they said, hey, you know, they heard about APPL, and they went back to their Tucson place and talked about it, and they said, we want to play APPL. We want to have that team-based league format down here. So Carol started the West Valley region, and
Okay.
that grew rapidly first year, quite rapidly, as well as I packed my suitcase and kind of walked through the southern region and kind of promoted it as a good salesman would do. And we
Old
picked up the
Willie
southern
Loman
region.
yourself, huh?
But we picked up a lot of teams, a lot of active adult communities, and that was a good place to start because pickleball was growing, and everybody. Then there were some very nice courts being built.
And I was about to say, in these communities, they've got nice facilities.
Yeah, they do. Uh, they they were looking for ways to. Their clubs were looking for ways to get more members, get them introduced to pickleball and stuff. We said, you know, we got a good thing going up here. People like to be on teams, and here's the format. Here's what it's all about. Why don't you know, we'll help you, work through some of the questions and all of that. And then they Southern region grew, West Valley grew more quickly than the East Valley region did. So it became uh, statewide. And shortly after that, all those people vacationing up in the White Mountain region said, hey, it's summertime. We're playing pickleball, but we're getting bored. We want to have team pickleball up here. And so a good guy that started with us from day one, a good friend of mine, Steve Spate, started it up there in the White Mountain region. And, uh, for 3 years, he built that, and now we've got new regional directors up there, and they keep growing. We've got a summer
Fantastic.
league and a large winter league.
So we do have summer league, winter league, obviously larger, more people joining in their winter league, and we have registration beginning soon. Winter league's kicking up soon. Talk to me about that. Let's tell the people all about it.
Right, winter league team registration opened up 2 days ago, and
Two
our
days
winter.
ago, you folks are late if you want to jump into this league. It was 2 days ago. We're going to keep
That's
telling you all about it.
that's right. There's still time. Registration is open for about a month and a half for teams. But and in 24 hours, we had 300 teams sign up. So our registration people
How
are
many
very,
how
very
many
busy.
how many players on a team, Greg?
Typically, the average is about 12, 10 to 14. Some are a little higher than that, some are a
And
little
so
lower, but
I'm
average
I'm
about 12.
I'm not a nuclear physicist. I can do quick math. 300 teams times around 12 was that 4,200 people out there, 3,600, whatever it might be. I use some more NASA math right there to add even more people. The point is that is such an amazing response in a little bit of time and just shows the connectivity of pickleball, of course, and the great, and I think this league that you've built, that people want to be in it and play in it.
Yeah, it really does. And like I said, they enjoy the camaraderie, and this is all stuff that I knew that it would happen. I mean, our growth for 5 years when Apple started to a year ago has predominantly been word of mouth. And if they're not having a good time, we wouldn't be growing. And they like the fact that it's 2 hours of pickleball. And when we first started, we kind of looked, okay, who's our competition? Well, competition's tournaments. And because that's all they know, and they really enjoy tournaments and they're good, they're fun, but we've got to get their pickleball budget shifted over to playing some team pickleball. And over time, they realized, wow, this is 2 hours of good competitive play. And I got to play with my friends and we all had a good time. And I could be done, after the couple hours, 2.5 hours, I'm doing something else. Now
Right.
I'm going golfing or whatever.
Yeah, life pickle balance. We have to have it, folks. I
Yeah.
mean, we love getting out there on the court. We've got to find that life pickle balance. And where the league is today, and we just mentioned we go to. I want to make sure I get this right. Arizona Pickleball Players League.org. Arizona Pickleball Players League.org, folks. When you're watching this, you can get out there. It's an amazing website. You can get all the information you need, especially about joining for this upcoming season. What would you say with from as this started and it's been going now for 13 years, where you see this incredible response? What it was so special about this past year leading you back into this new year as we jump into starting?
We've grown and we've been able to, with a lot of data, one of the things that we've gotten a lot of favorable feedback on, it comes with a price and not a dollar price, but we've been able to have our own rating system. It's called the PBSR, Pickleball Scores Rating, and we implemented it couple years ago as a transition. Previously, the rating systems UTPR or now Duper came on board. Then there's UTR-P. There's actually others. The rating system that runs under our league management program is actually a very capable one. It rated top 3 in the country a couple years ago.
Okay.
Not well known, but it has some heritage to it. And we are able to level the playing field and get control of sandbagging a little bit. Hey, I'm playing at the 4-5 level, but if I sign up for this 3-5 team, maybe I can, we can really do good.
Right.
That's helped a lot, and that's always been a problem. And probably the other big thing we've done is for several years we've had a program called, hey, I don't know enough people, but I want to be on a team. How do I get on a team? And it's called Players Seeking a Team. How about that?
Yeah,
And we
it's
added we added
I think it's great, and that's I was wanted to get you there, but you got there on your own. Let's talk about that, because a frustrating thing for picklers out there sometimes, even for a tournament, let's say outside of Apple, I'd love to play in this tournament. I don't have a team, or I don't have a partner. My partner's out of town. I can't find somebody in enough
Mhm.
time or enough notice. And I think what you've created here with Players Seeking a Team, let me make sure I get that right. You said it right. Yeah, Players Seeking a Team. And again, it's right there on the website, folks. But this is great. Oh, Halo, look at that. That is
That
awesome.
that's a flyer that we used at a couple events recently where we bring players together, get them introduced to each other, have some
And
fun, and
with
then
the new season beginning, talk about how people could go as individuals and or even as a two people maybe and seeking a team.
right,
And how could they do that?
right.
How can they use this to their advantage and to get into this league?
Yeah, if they go to the website again, there's a player resources, and they'll find pretty easily a form that they can punch on and then fill out and say, hey, I'm looking for a team. I'm a 3.5 player, whatever rated. I'm in this region or this area and this age, and like to be on a team. And what we've done even better every year and outstanding this year is we've got a good database of that, and we call them free agents, of course. And we make that list available to captains who may be short teams. That's one program, let's say, and it's very easy for captains to access it. We give them that information. We also have what we used to call Bite of Apple. I think we kind of still call that, but it's also a meet and greet kind of thing where, hey, we got 18 3.5 players, men and women. Why don't we have a meet and greet and they'll get to know each other, and all these players seeking a team click the box. I'm willing to be a captain. And so we get them out to a park, Pecos Park or Tumbleweed. We actually had one there recently.
Okay.
They get to know each other. We have some fun playing, and then say, "Hey, folks, you guys live in the East Valley, for crying out loud. Why don't you form a team?" And
Make a
somebody will
team.
step up. We'll have a mentor sometimes if that's what's needed. But the great story is, and this was a couple years ago, there was a team formed exactly that way, and they won their region, and it was a mixed doubles team. There was about 10, 12 people on the team. They won their region, and they won the state championship that we had following at the end of the season.
Isn't that amazing?
And what would they have been doing? The look on their faces was just phenomenal when they were so thrilled that they met each other, they did this thing, and that result occurred, and that was just terrific.
And
Others
were the
others
were the
have
state
met.
championships just completed recently? Because I know there's like results on the website. Was that
Yeah.
recent?
Well, we have it at the end of the season. So the season runs, regular season starts in January, ends mid-March, and then usually the first week in April, that's basically when it happens. And
Okay.
so yeah, there's a lot of that gets put up on the website, and you can see
And
a
where
lot
I
of their
wanted to
enthusiasm. Yeah,
absolutely, where I wanted to go with that is talk about the divisions available in each region, talk about how, the age levels and how people can get involved because people might be like, well, I'm not good enough to play in a
yeah,
league.
yeah.
Folks, you are, and there's room for you here in Apple, in Arizona Pickleball Players League. Greg, tell them all about it.
Yeah, we need to put you on the road and sell it for Apple. That's great. The skill levels range from 2.5 to 5.0. So if you're a 2.5 player, you probably don't know a lot of people. You probably just took some clinics. You're now playing it. You got a paddle and all that and having fun and enjoying it. Maybe use our Seeking a Team program and other ways. Uh, there's there are leagues, there are flights that we call them that are 2.5 level flights. The age or 3.0 or 3.5 or 4.0, 4.5 and 5.0. The age brackets, as we've grown, we've been able to support dividing into age brackets. So
Okay.
right now it's open age, which is a 18 plus division, and we have 50 plus age bracket and a 65 plus age bracket,
Okay.
age league. So between all those levels, all those age brackets, there's a spot.
Yeah.
Some of them, there may be more teams than others, like the women's 50 plus, I think it's 50 plus 3.0s and 3.5s. There was like 50 teams in those age divisions,
Shout
each of
out
them.
to the ladies, to the girls getting after it. I mean, that's
Yeah.
kind of an interesting anomaly maybe in itself. Have you seen that over the years specifically? I don't know if that's a data point that you capture that there's more interest in mixed teams, more women out there playing versus men, or do we just have a lot of people who want to continue to play pickleball?
We've got a lot of people. The curves seem to be similar each year, so it's we kind of expect that. The growth was more rapid in the women's side. The growth has been was slow in the 65 plus side when we piloted it a few years ago, but that was just a few years ago. And then some folks turned 65 over the last couple of years, and they, you
That can
know,
happen.
they yeah, And so they, that has grown. The 18 plus or the open age is where we're more focused now because a lot of growth in the 50 plus and 65 plus. Uh, there's this notion that by some that oh well that's for the older folks and even
Yes.
pickleball you remember that pickleball
Oh,
is
yeah.
oh no that's an older folks game. Well, go
Yeah.
watch it on
Why would
TV.
I go do that? Right.
Right.
I'm not old enough to play pickleball.
Yeah, right. So go watch a few of those pros. Tell me how old they are. So we're focused on that. We're doing a great job now, not just word of mouth anymore because that really wasn't working too good. But we've got social media. One of our dynamic volunteers that I call Tornado is Alex Lynch, and I think you know her,
Yes.
and she's doing a great job.
Let's shout out to Alex Lynch. Here we are, Greg and I. We're dinking dirty for you, helping get Apple and keeping the word out there. Alex is great. She's amazing in the community. Pretty good player herself, and she put us together, which is awesome. And so I always give a shout out to my friend Alex, and it's great that she's working with you. And it's important. You have to have that social media presence. What I think is also important is that you are including younger folks within the league, and I also like that there's a 65 plus, there's a 50 plus, because sometimes, when you get a little more distinguished, as we are, you might not want to run around all the time with even the 40 to 50s. You might rather play 50 to 55s. It's not that there's not great pickle in every division, because I've been run around by folks that are 70 for crying out loud, want to come
Right,
home and cry in my pillow and, throw my paddle around. But it's the game, as you and I talked about before, that's inclusive and truly generational. We can all play out there together. And in leagues like Apple, you can get that competitive juice on, or you can go to the park and probably paddle up and have a good time.
right, right. And that's another point I wanted to make sure is because it's tied to the 18 plus the open age. When you say, we can get out there and play and have a good time, we now, especially in the Phoenix area and actually probably from a per capita point of view, doing well in the Tucson Southern region area, we now have great relationships with a lot of the indoor venues that are popping up.
Okay.
The center courts, the picklers, the ace pickleballs, the pickleball spaces. There's a few others. Sorry, I'm not mentioning.
There's
Pickleball
that's
Kingdom was
because there's a lot of them that are continuing to pop up, but I think you covered some of the ones that we're all going to know. Pickleball Kingdom, Pickler, Center Court Pickleball, Pickleball Space way out there on the
right.
west side,
In
and
Tucson, there's
in
ace
Tucson,
pickleball.
Ace Pickleball. Okay, I don't know all the ones down in Tucson.
There's a pickler just opened up down there and another. I'm sorry, I can't remember the other one. But for the working demographic, let's call it the open age group, you know, they might go in a bowling league on Tuesday nights or something because they are active and they enjoy bowling. Now, those pickleball players that are working come home, hey, Tuesday night I'm going to play pickleball, and these venues are supplying some, we call them slots, to be available. They get them through Apple. We work those arrangements with the venues. But
Okay.
we're actually October 6th, we're opening up the Apple managed venue registration. So the teams that want to use Apple managed venues, and we've got about 21 of them.
So these are teams that can then pre-register via the website for some of these clubs that we just mentioned to
Right.
have their practices or their matches, or both.
Yeah, both actually. Certainly, Center Court is offering a a decent rate for even practices, and then
Okay.
there's they have they'll pay for it based on however many home matches they'll have there. The teams pay uh, for that. Pickler pretty much the same way. They've got slots available. The teams will through Apple go ahead and reserve whatever they have available, and it's our system. So then if let's say there's 4 slots available and 4 teams pick them, then we close that reservation.
Okay.
but it works pretty well, and it makes the venues happy that they don't have to deal with all of that directly. We can do that for them.
I was looking at the website here. And so, as you mentioned, October 6th, maybe we can look at the timeline coming down for Apple from October 1st. So, we're looking at registration. Team registration is open, started yesterday, going to run through November the 8th. Player registration for returning teams. So, is this if I was on a team before, I'm registering back into the league?
Right. And if you were a captain, or this team was the team, even the team registration is, we give returning teams the first registration period, and then new teams a second. I think it's a couple weeks later, so it's
October 13th, new team
13th. Yeah.
registration. I see right there on the website. So lots of things happening, but everything's starting right now, folks. Get out here to Arizona Pickleball Players League.org. Arizona
Good
Pickleball
point.
Players League.org. It's where you can find all this great information Greg and I are talking about. Get involved. Go play. There's even ways you could help out if you have extra time and want to volunteer. They're never going to turn away folks that want to truly help. Now, help me understand. There's another thing we wanted to talk about before we come back to Apple, and that's
Mhm.
American Team Pickleball. Is Greg involved with that? What's upcoming with Arizona Team Pickleball or American Team Pickleball League? And let's talk a little bit about that, because from what I found on the website, this is a pretty cool endeavor also.
Yeah, very much. The American Team Pickleball League is, you could say, the national initiative for this format of pickleball that Apple invented, basically.
Okay.
Like USTA, Apple, what we've done over the past couple years is we've helped other leagues start, like Florida, Oregon, California, Utah, Nevada, Atlanta, Georgia. We've helped them use the Apple format, get started, and grow. And there's so many in that website, atplnation.org, that are great examples of how successful that can be and how much easier it is. So now we have this network of leagues around the country, and we're having our first national championship in November 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th here in Pueblo El Mirage, a
Okay.
beautiful complex. And uh, this year we'll have 4 states represented, and we've got more in the pipeline. We weren't planning on doing it this year, but we had a lot of good feedback, and the teams wanted to have a national championship, so we said let's make it happen, and so
And
that's
so we've got
going on.
November 6th, 8th, and 9th out there at El Pueblo in El Mirage is the name of the facility. This is American Team Pickleball League National Championships. Teams from 4 different states coming out here to participate in this. Are these 4-player teams? Is it a pure doubles format? How's that working for this
Yeah,
league?
no, these are 6-player teams, just
Okay.
like we play in our regular season. We may open up a quad, we call it a quad format because it uses 4-player teams. We have some of those going on, but we still use Apple scoring, which don't let me forget to tell you about. But it's 6-player teams that played in their leagues. Florida bringing teams, Oregon bringing teams, California bringing teams, and they'll be competing for the inaugural national ATPL national championship.
And I guess what I needed to say with better clarity is they will play, men's doubles, some mixed. There'll be the female doubles, and that's how we go through and advance through towards the title. Correct?
Yeah, the teams will play each other, and then I think all of them are round robin based, so that
Okay,
the teams from each states are playing each other, and then some will have a championship bracket, just one
gotcha.
more match to play. So we're guaranteeing everybody 4 matches because they're flying
Okay,
out. They don't want to just play two
yeah.
and then have to fly back.
No, fantastic. And so this is, folks, this is coming up November 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. What was the website again? American Team Pickleball or National Pickleball?
Nope, nope. It's ATPL Nation.
ATPL Nation, is it a .com?
.org. .org.
.org. So
Yep.
we've got Arizona Pickleball Players League.org. Arizona Pickleball Players League.org. That's for Apple. That's the league, folks, that is under registration, happening right now. You get out to the website. If you're a person, want to join a team, great resources for you to do that. If you think you got what it takes and you already got your team, just be a little more patient. About 2 weeks, get in there, submit that team. And then with American Team Pickleball League, National Championship, November 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th, we've got teams from here in Arizona, Oregon, Utah, and Florida. Or is it California?
Arizona, Florida, California, and Oregon. Yep.
And Oregon, all coming here to vie and battle for the national championship, which is awesome. Now, you just mentioned, we talked a little bit about your scoring system in Apple. You mentioned that again. They're using that in the American Team Pickleball League as well. Go ahead and talk a little more about some of the uniqueness to this system.
Yeah, what makes it special is that it's truly team-based. And unlike some other kinds of leagues that, if you're the weaker player on the team, you're really not contributing, or the weaker team, on the team. And the weight is still the same. There's some, I think there were tennis leagues that, line one was if you were line one and you won, you got the most team points for your team. But it's not quite.
Are you back there?
I'm here.
There you are. There you are. All right. Not sure what happened there. It just said you stopped recording. We could have had a little browser issue, but we'll get through that. We'll edit it back out.
All right.
Let's get right back to where we were talking here with, some of the scoring, team-based scoring in both American Team Pickle League as well as Apple, Arizona Pickleball Players League. And I think that's great because you were talking how you might be what's considered the lesser group pair, let's say, on the team, and it could hurt the team from an overall point standing and accumulation, not so much anymore.
Right. If the format is this, you come to the match with 6 players and you pair them up. So you have 3 pairs of players, and you're going to play the 3 pairs of players on the other team. You're going to play each one of those pairs 2 games to 11. And then after that, rotate, do the same thing. Then after that, rotate one more time, do the same thing. And in that first round, let's say my team's playing your team. You win the first game 11-7. Okay, that's good. You get 2 team points, and my team gets 1 team point because we scored 6 points in that game or more. Let's say in the second round, we beat you 11-4. We get 2 team points because we won, and then you don't get any team points because you didn't get to 6.
Okay.
At the end of that round, I got 2 team points for winning that one match, and I got 1 team point for at least getting 6 on the other. So I got 3 team points, and you got 2 team points because et cetera.
Okay.
So each
So
of the
yeah,
other teams. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
you're not being penalized for losing the match, right? If you're competitive, even though you might be the weaker link, let's say, right, the weaker dink, haha, I just thought of that, you can still get that point getting to 6. And we both know if you get to 6, there's a good chance you might roll that thing right down the hill, come back and beat them.
Right. That's true too. And what has happened often, and it's what makes it exciting, is even more exciting, is let's say you and I are on a team and we're the weakest pair, and we're
Can't
playing
see that, but go ahead.
excuse me, we're playing our last game of the last round, and we're the only team left to play, and we're losing 9-5. If we get to 6, our team will win. And we get to 6, you wouldn't believe, because this happens in playoffs at the state championships, a lot of competitive teams, you wouldn't believe the cheering and shouting that occurs. We got to 6, great. I don't care if you lose. We just won. You contributed to the team.
It's like grabbing half a point in a Ryder Cup match, but we don't want to react like our Ryder Cup fans did, but we'll just leave that there for another time.
That's great.
I think that's great, and I can
Yeah.
only imagine the excitement of the people because just, I'm playing later tonight and we go crazy in just our little Wednesday night get over the hump little fun league that we have. And so when you have so many more people there, or when if you've gone to a tournament, and if you haven't, folks, you need to go out or witness some of this league play, because even the members who aren't playing at the time and the people who are there to watch are having a lot of fun, because again, these are competitive matches and it's just super fun to watch.
Yeah. And many times the end of the team score, when you add up the 3 rounds, it might be like 9-7 the first round, and then 10-8 the second round, and then it could be 20, typically 26-22 at the end of the match. And then you look and you go, wow, you know, we're not that good, but we got 5 team points, and and if and we helped contribute to the team win in a big way. So that's that's what it's all about as far as I'm concerned.
That is what it's all about. You don't have to feel like, oh, we lost, we let
Right,
the team down. Hey, we might
right.
have lost that game. We got a point overall. We got a chance to keep this thing going and advance. Having a lot of fun. Greg Mather, Arizona Pickleball Players League, also American Team Pickleball League. He's a part of them both. People, he's been doing this pickleball thing for 17 years. He's a really good player too. Don't know how good. I'm going to find out because we're going to get to play together soon. We're going to make that happen. Greg, like I said, having a lot of fun, a lot of great information about the new season of APPL upcoming and this national championship event, November 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. Tell me again where it is in November.
The national championship is at Pueblo El Mirage RV Resort in El Mirage, Arizona. And I do want to add one more thing, and that's just in the West Valley, still just outside of Phoenix. The the other, since I know your podcast reaches across the nation, the other thing I wanted to mention is for those leagues that are watching this, they should contact through the website that you mentioned, ATPL Nation, to inquire about if maybe they're forming a league or they already have one and they'd like to be a part of this. They should contact us. If they're forming it,
ATPLnation.org.
right?
ATPLnation.org. Greg, great point. Let's expand this thing and get some more states involved. They're playing
Exactly.
pickleball just about everywhere. And so if you're kind of struggling, how could we have our team, or how could we have our league compete at maybe that next higher level? ATPLnation.org is where you're going to find it. And that's where you can do a little more legwork and see about joining in this league. And maybe next November, you're out here in El Mirage trying to get a piece of that title.
Bingo. Bingo. That's great.
Awesome time. Great stuff here with Greg Mather. We talked a lot about Arizona Pickleball Players League. The website is Arizona Pickleball Players League.org. New season is starting up right now, folks. Get to the website, check it out. If you're looking for more ways that you can play pickleball, compete maybe at a little higher level than you do right now, even if you got to leave your friends and make new pickle friends, check it out. And then this November, out there in El Mirage at the El Pueblo facility, American Team Pickleball League Championships. You're going to want to see some good pickle. Head out there November 6th, 7th. And also, let's shout out to those local clubs in some other states that might be looking to join. They go to atplnation.org and they can find out all the ways that they can join. Greg, I've had a great time. I hope you have had a great
I
time
sure
too.
have.
We're going to get out there and play some pickles soon because now we have each other's numbers and we can set that up. What else would you like to, before I let you go, final shout outs, any plugs as we finish things up here on the virtual court, Pickle with Mickle style?
Probably a reminder to folks that used to say, is it going to affect my tournament rating? The answer is no. And that's always a positive. And it's even more of a positive now that we have our own ratings algorithm running underneath. And then the cost of it is less than the price of one tournament for the whole season. So people usually will say, well, how much does it cost? And when they realize that, and over the years, people have said, you're not charging enough. But we are, and this is probably even more important, we are all volunteers. I'm blessed with the fact that we've got close to 40 volunteers making all of this happen everywhere. And that's one heck of a way to be giving back and making having people do things that otherwise they might be just sitting
Greg,
around
that's
looking for
that's the
something to
best
do.
way. And there's room for more people to volunteer and help out within Apple. Get to the website, check out ways that you might be able to donate some time. It's people that make it go. It's us that make it grow. Greg, thanks again so
Thank you.
much for spending some time with me here on the court. Arizona Pickleball Players League, American Team Pickleball League, nation.org, both are .orgs. Amazing things happening. Greg, you've done so much for pickleball here in the Valley. Can't thank you enough.
Thanks again. Appreciate it.
Greg, I appreciate you. Thank you again for making the time. We've got to get out and pickle very soon. Folks, get out there to El Mirage that first weekend in November. Check out ATPLnation.org for more info. Go to Arizona Pickleball Players League.org. Get registered for the upcoming 26 season. Get a team. Stay safe out there. Stay hydrated. See all y'all next time for more.